To the campaign trail now, where Donald Trump is getting ready to answer looming questions about fundraising for veterans charities. He'll do so at a news conference Tuesday. Sunday, he addressed the annual Veterans Motorcycle Rally Rolling Thunder in Washington, D.C. Meanwhile, top Republicans are expressing some concerns about the presumptive GOP nominee. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell told CBS this morning what he'd like to see Trump change about his campaign.
What would you like to see him do differently?
Well, what I'd like to see is a more studious approach. Winning the White House is about more than just entertaining a large audience. He's very good at that. He proved that. I think the American people also would like to see him fill in the blanks.
Carrie Sheffield is a conservative journalist and the founder of Bold Global Media. Carrie, thanks for coming in.
Thanks. Good to be here, Elaine.
So what do you make of the remarks from Senator McConnell there? And in what other areas do you think Donald Trump needs to improve or change in order for you and folks like you to be more comfortable with him?
Yeah, no, I agree with Senator McConnell. I think that Donald Trump should be more measured in how he is approaching the world. You know, it's a very high stakes. It's not even a game, but when you're in the world of diplomacy, I mean, every word matters. Everything is parsed. The markets respond. So when you're the leader of the free world, everything you say has a tremendous impact. And I think that's what he's expressing here. You know, and McConnell is right. He's really captured the imagination of millions of Americans. And now what do we do with that? How do we actually govern? And that's where we have a lot of unanswered questions.
So as we just mentioned, Donald Trump is getting ready for this news conference about the funds that he raised for veterans charities just before the Iowa caucuses. He's come under fire for not fully accounting for that money. Do you think that this is one of those controversies that might actually stick, or will this just be like so many other things that we have seen where Donald Trump has just not been affected by any of this?
Yeah, no, so there was $1 million that he personally was supposed to give to the veterans, and that apparently didn't happen until a Washington Post reporter called him on it. But, you know, I think he is sort of Teflon, as we've seen. I think, you know, his supporters are incredibly loyal. I don't think this will hurt him with them. I also think that come November, that's 5 months from now, I don't think that the news cycle will have this, you know, at the forefront. I honestly don't think it will hurt him that much.
All right. Over the weekend, conservative commentator Bill Kristol tweeted saying soon, quote, "There will be an independent candidate, an impressive one with a strong team and a real chance." And then Donald Trump responded by saying, quote, "If dummy Bill Kristol actually does get a spoiler to run as an independent, say goodbye to the Supreme Court." So first, Carrie, your reaction, and do you think that perhaps this is too little too late on the part of folks like Bill Kristol?
Well, in full disclosure, Bill Kristol is a friend of mine, so I don't think he's a dummy. I don't think he's a dummy, but and then he doesn't certainly mince any words.
You have some feelings about this, okay?
I think what concerns Bill Kristol and a lot of conservatives such as myself is that we actually don't know if the Supreme Court would be in conservative hands if Donald Trump wins. We're not assured that we would have a conservative nominee for SCOTUS. So that's why we actually don't think that him pushing back against Bill Kristol actually means that much in terms of saying this would be thrown to a non-conservative bench. We think that he might be the one doing that.
But what about the effort by Bill Kristol at all? You know, a tweet at this point. I mean, he's got the delegates needed here.
True. So it is 5 months, and Bill Kristol does have friends who are very incredible lawyers who can litigate and get on the ballot in every state. So I don't think the technical aspects of getting on the ballot would matter. The question is, who is this candidate? You know, Mitt Romney has polled at 22%, and he hasn't even declared. He's not even trying at this point. Ben Sasse is a name that's been thrown around as well. I think that an independent challenger could pose an actual challenge here at this point. You know, and I think some people say that, you know, Donald Trump has not been particularly loyal to the GOP. You know, he just insulted a Republican governor in her home state. And even just
Mexico, yeah.
Exactly. And a few weeks before he secured the nomination by winning in Indiana, he was threatening to run as a third-party candidate himself. So I think there is everything's fluid at this point.
All right, a lot to watch in the days and weeks ahead. Carrie Sheffield, thanks so much.
Thank you, Elaine.